Greetings, AP coordinators. Derek Hameta here, host of your Coordinated podcast, joined today by AP coordinator superstar Rachel McBride. Rachel joins us from the Cleveland, Ohio area. Do I remember that correctly, Rachel?
Yes, Derek, that's correct. I'm sure you're jealous, so go Browns. I'm a counselor and AP coordinator at Mayfield High School. I'm home of the Wildcats, so thanks for having me on the show.
Rachel, how are things going at your school? So I guess by that I mean what's happening with your plans for AP testing this spring?
Okay, so I actually do have some answers. I met with my administration. Since most of our kids are in person, we're actually going to go with primarily Administration 1. And then for those students who may not be able to come into the building, we're going to do the digital testing, hopefully all during Administration 2 and hopefully none during Administration 3. So now we're kind of in the process of getting that communication together for parents, making sure I contact our IT department, our custodial staff, all of those, big players. It takes a village to make it happen. So
Understandable. And I love hearing that all your plans are coming together. That definitely sounds like a good team effort going on at your school.
Yeah.
So, hey, Rachel, let's get going. So today we're going to talk about special format exam materials, an important topic for everyone who is planning to administer paper and pencil exams this spring like you. So can you start by sharing just a little bit of background on what SSD is and what that stands for?
Yeah, so SSD is Services for Students with Disabilities. So the College Board is committed to making sure that students with disabilities can take tests with the accommodations that they need. But Derek, I don't know if I told you, but I'm actually the SSD coordinator at my high school. However, I work really close with her. She's got my back. We taught English together for like 15 years. So she's another one of those really important players. Like I said, it takes a village to make it happen, and I go to her a lot. So
No problem, Rachel. I guess by that I mean no problem with you not being the SSD coordinator. It's really your AP coordinator perspective. That's what we want to tap into today. And I guess we can start by talking about SSD IDs. So in AP registration and ordering, we AP coordinators can see if a student has an SSD ID. I have to say that very slowly. A student will have an SSD ID if they have a record in SSD online. And that's a separate system than AP registration and ordering.
yes, and again, Derek, I have to give you credit for saying SSD ID that many times in a row. It's a tough one. So SSD coordinators will use the SSD online, and AP coordinators like us will use AP registration and ordering. AP registration and ordering actually has this great filter that can be used to search for these students. So the filter identifies any student with an SSD ID. It does not distinguish whether or not a student has an approved accommodation. So we need to view the student details page to review the accommodations for a student.
And so, Rachel, what are special format exam materials? And I'm hoping you can give me an example.
Yeah, absolutely. So a few examples for starters would be in this particular year, however, when we talk about the special format exam materials, we're only talking about paper and pencil exams. So the rest of this conversation is not about accommodations for digital testing.
Okay, so I do know that part. So information about accommodations for digital testing are online, and they'll be in that digital testing guide. But as you said, Rachel, this conversation, the one that you and I are having at this moment, is about paper and pencil accommodations and special format exam materials. So I'm sorry I sort of interrupted. Back to your examples, please.
That's okay, Derek. Apology accepted. So, okay. So one example of a special format exam material is a large block answer sheet used with regular format paper and pencil exams. Another example is an exam with a 14 or 20 point large type format. So there are a few others as well.
Right. Actually, I just looked it up while you were talking.
Very good.
And there's a table on page 94 in the AP Coordinator's Manual, Part 1. And actually, as I'm flipping through here, virtually flipping through here, on the previous page, page 93, it shows AP coordinators where to indicate special format exam materials.
Yes, absolutely. And that AP coordinator's manual is my best friend, and it should be every coordinator's best friend. That's on the student details page in the AP registration and ordering.
So, Rachel, unless I'm missing something, and so I'm going to ask you, I see that extended time is not listed as a special format exam material.
That's an excellent thing to notice, Derek. Yes. So extended time exams for paper and pencil testing are exactly the same exams that are used for students who do not have accommodations. Only the timing is different. The actual exam booklets are the same. So there's actually tables in the AP Coordinator's Manual, Part 2, with the timing details to help us as well. So I usually use that. It's a great resource. Got it?
I got it, Rachel. And we've been talking this whole time, again, about specifically paper and pencil exams. And I guess for digital exams, I should add this quick note, right? So for some accommodations, special format materials will need to be ordered for a digital exam. But again, more details on that are in the digital testing guide. And now, how about if we invite everyone back for our next episode? I believe that would be a good podcast promotion. So
yes.
I believe, Rachel,
Yep.
You wanted to talk about CDs?
CDs. I mean, who doesn't want to talk about compact discs if they even know that they still exist, right? CDs. So yes, I wanted to talk about ordering CDs for the world language and the music theory exams.
All right, so everyone, please be sure to subscribe to this show in your podcast application so you do not miss that conversation and much more. And please don't forget about the interactive mini workshop series. They are free, and you can register right now at collegeboard.org/AP Coordinator Training. Thanks to Amy O for her amazing artwork with our podcast logo, and thanks to Jackie Ray for her theme song, Good as Gold. Speaking of, a special Good as Gold thanks goes out to faithful podcast subscriber Beth Daly at Buffalo Public Schools. Beth, we heard that you are both enjoying our show and doing fantastic work with your team in Buffalo. Thanks for your support. And of course, thanks to my favorite people in all of education, that is you, AP coordinators. No doubt, you are always good as gold.
And maybe I just don't know. I'll say it over and over and over again till I believe it's so. I'm good as gold.